In this tutorial, we will implement a secure login form using onChange and password visibility, as seen here. So when the user enters their name, they also need to enter a password. And when the password is not entered, as you can see, the text field includes a red border. But as soon as I enter a password, the text field border becomes blue, light blue, and the login button, is enabled. And we can also hide and show the password by clicking on the I within the text field. So if I click on the I now, which is here, the password in the text field will become invisible. And then if I click on the I again, the password will become visible. As you can see there. So this is the functionality we'll be creating in this tutorial. Within your content view, enter the following: @state, private var, username, string, @state, private var, password, string, @state, private var is username, empty, boolean, @state, private var is password, empty, boolean, @state, private var is password, visible, which is also a boolean and assigned to false. The purpose of lines 13, 14 and 15. So lines 13 is the state variable to track if the username field is empty. Line 14 also tracks if the password is empty. That's why we assign the variable to true initially, to state that both variables do not contain any data. And lines 15 is to toggle between showing the password or not within the password text field. The next thing we need to do is to delete between lines 18 and 24. Add a Z stack. The next thing we need to do is to add an extension. Really, this should be created within its own file, But for this tutorial, I just include it in the same content view file. So the extension we'll be extending on is color, static let background, equals color red 0.94, green 0.94, and blue 0.94. Create another static variable, let blue equals color red 0.23, green 0.35, and blue 0.60. And now within our VStack we need to set the background color by using the extension that we just created, color.background.edges, ignoring safe area.all. Next thing we need to do is to add another VStack. Leading, spacing 15. And the purpose of that VStack is to vertically stack the child views with 15 points between each of the spaces. Text, login, font, large, title, foreground, color, blue, which is this blue. I think it should be color.blue. Just compile it just to make sure. The next thing we need to do is add our text field. Username, text, $username. Padding, background, white, corner radius, 8, overlay, rounded, rectangle, corner radius is 8. Dot stroke is username empty. So if the username is empty, the background color, the text fields borders will be red. Else it will be blue if the username contains a value. Dot onChange username. So we're observing the username text field to see if any changes has happened. And we don't need to use we have to use the new value, but not the old value. So for the old value, just include an underscore. For the new value, just type in new value in the closure. Is username empty equals new value is empty. And the purpose of that line is to update the is username empty variable based on whether the new value of the username is empty or not. Next thing we need to do is to create another Z stack, which will be trailing. But this Z stack is for our password text field. If, and it was spelled incorrectly, if is password visible, then show the password text field with the actual password within the text field. Password text $password. As you can see, we're using the plain text field password field. The plain text text field. We're not using the secure field. By using the text field, it enables the user to see the actual password in plain text. Got padding, background, color, which is white, got corner radius, 8, overlay, rounded, rectangle, corner radius, 8. Dot stroke is password empty. Color dot red if it's empty. If it's not empty, includes the value, then set the text field borders to blue with a line width of 2. onChange of the password field. We don't need to use the old value, so we just use an underscore, but we need to access the new value. Is password empty equals new value dot is empty. Else, if we want the password to be hidden from the user, we need to do a similar thing to what we've done previously. So we have to copy this block, which is between lines 46 and lines 50 and lines 58, lines 59. No, let's do it another way. Just copy the lines between lines 46 and lines 57. And then on lines 59, just add an else with a bracket. And just paste what we copied, CMD and V. I'll just compile it just to make sure there's no errors. And then instead of using a text field element, we want to use a secure field so that the password field is secure and hidden. So the actual values within the password field is secure and hidden, so it's not visible to the user. And then I think everything else is the same. Just checking to make sure. onChange, yeah, that should be password. Yeah, that's all correct. The next thing we need to do is to add a button action. We add that after line 73. The purpose of the button action is to enable the secure field and the text field to be visible when the user clicks on the eye within the text field for the password. So when the user clicks on the eye, it will toggle to show the password in plain text or to hide the password from the user. It's password visible .toggle. And then to display the actual image, the eye image within the text field, we need to enter the following. We'll be using a system image, which is a system name. Its password visible. I dot slash dot fill or I dot fill. And what that does, it shows the appropriate eye icon based on the visibility. Dot foreground color dot grey, and that's for the system image. We color it grey. And then we just add some padding, trailing with 10 pixels. And then the next thing we need to add is the login button. So the login button, we will implement that after lines 83. Button action the caption for the login button will be login. Foreground color is white. Dot padding dot frame max width dot infinity. And the purpose of using infinity is to make the button take the maximum width available. Dot background is username empty or is password empty, question mark color dot grey, else is color dot blue. So it sets the background color to grey if the username or password is empty. Otherwise, it sets it to blue. The next thing we need to do is to disable the button if the username is empty or the password is empty. Got padding, got top 20. Add some padding to the top of the button, and then we just add a spacer, and then we add padding around the entire VStack, which is on line 100. So now I'll just run it to see if it's working or not. Just trying to display the view at the moment. Xcode is very slow. So now, as you can see, because there's no values in either of the text fields, the text fields includes a red border. If I enter a value now, as you can see, the borders are blue. And for the password secure field, I'll enter any text, and as you can see, the password secure borders, they're now blue. And now if you want to see the password, just click on the I. Something's happened there. Did it work? Yeah, just Xcode playing up. There's a little delay. Let's do it again. Okay, I just changed the password to ABC. Hide the password. Display the password. And as you can see, if there's no password within the secured field, the button is disabled. But if there's a password in the secure field, the button is enabled. Thank you for joining us. If you found this tutorial helpful, please comment, like and subscribe. See you next week.